Can you imagine making millions by renting out an inflatable mattress? It sounds like a joke, but that's how one of the companies that revolutionized the way we travel was born. San Francisco, 2007. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, two designers without a dollar to their name, faced a problem. Rent was skyrocketing. In the city, there was also an important design conference taking place, and the hotels were fully booked. The solution was as simple as it was ingenious. Buy some inflatable mattresses, offer them to conference attendees through a simple website, and charge $80 a night. They called it Air Bed and Breakfast. The beginning wasn't easy. No one quite understood the idea. The first few months were a constant trickle of bookings, enough to pay the bills, but far from the fortune they dreamed of. In 2008, Nathan Blecherchik, a programming expert, joined to give the website a more professional look. But the real stroke of luck came with the presidential elections that year. Given the lack of hotel rooms in Denver, where the Democratic National Convention was held, Chesky, Gebbia, and Blecherchik saw a golden opportunity. They convinced dozens of local residents to rent out their homes, and the success was overwhelming. The business model was validated. People wanted alternatives to traditional hotels. But there was still a long way to go. The founders faced a major challenge: distrust. Who would let a stranger into their home? And who would dare to sleep in a stranger's house? To solve this problem, Airbnb opted for transparency. They introduced rating and review systems, where both guests and hosts could rate each other. This generated trust and security. In 2009, they changed the name to Airbnb, and began their international expansion. The key to their success was understanding local needs. They adapted their platform to different languages and cultures, and offered accommodation options for all tastes and budgets. The marketing campaigns were another strong point. Airbnb knew how to connect with the desire to travel authentically, to live unique experiences, away from impersonal hotels. This is where things get interesting. Several stories circulate about Airbnb, some true, some not so much. One of the most famous is the legend of the ghost Airbnb. Legend has it that certain hosts, especially in tourist cities, create fake profiles with photos generated by artificial intelligence. They offer non-existent accommodations at irresistible prices. Travelers, tempted by the bargain, book and pay in advance. But upon arriving at the destination, they discover that the address is false or that the accommodation simply does not exist. Although Airbnb has verification and control systems, scammers are ingenious and always find new ways to cheat. The moral of this story is clear: if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Another story that circulates, already debunked, is that Airbnb was financed by selling cereal with the image of Barack Obama and John McCain during the 2008 elections. While it is true that the founders sold themed cereal boxes to raise funds, this action was not the main source of funding for the company, but a desperate measure to avoid bankruptcy in its early days. Today, Airbnb is much more than a platform for renting rooms. It is a global giant that offers everything from apartments and houses to castles and private islands. It is listed on the stock exchange, worth billions of dollars, and has transformed the tourism industry. But not everything is rosy. Airbnb faces criticism for its impact on the real estate market, for the increase in rental prices, and for the gentrification of some neighborhoods. The company has had to adapt to local regulations and has implemented measures to combat illegal rentals and mass tourism. Airbnb proved that a simple idea, born out of necessity, can become a global empire. But it also teaches us that success comes with responsibilities. Because sometimes, behind a simple online booking, there is a whole story that few know. Did you like this story? Subscribe to the channel to discover more myths and brands. And tell us in the comments, what is your experience with Airbnb?